Like, I guess the reassurances and the reminders that you need to feel better, like, change shape depending on the situation. You just need to work out that that's what you need. Like in this case, being grounded and mindful and present is an antidote as well. So reassurances and then making sure that I'm in the body, in the physical sensations, not in my brain. Because if I'm, say, an example here would be if I'm in my brain right now and not very in the body and a bit dissociated, then what I've got running is like, I am doing something wrong.exe. Actually, that's because I'm prioritizing us, because I'm vlogging, because I'm talking about the things that we have to deal with, and because I'm daring to have faith in myself having some fucking value and having some confidence. That just makes me feel like I'm doing the wrong thing. But if I don't remind myself of that, I just have the feeling that I'm doing the wrong thing, and my brain will attribute it to whatever I am doing. Like, it'll rationalize it in a way that I can understand that seems believable. So, in this case, it gets attached to what I'm doing with the dogs. And I start feeling like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not spending enough quality time with them because I'm vlogging at the same time I'm playing with them. And I'm not, like, having that fully dedicated interaction between me and them where I'm just focused on them and they're just focused on me. I start thinking about things like getting overwhelmed about, I've got an online course I've had for like about 4 years that I haven't been able to do, that's 30 days of canine science. Love it, really want to get back to it, really want to do it with them again. But the thing is, instead of wanting to do it, I start thinking in this overwhelmed, panicked way where it's like, oh, they're not going to live forever. I start thinking about them dying. Yes, that makes me want to be able to focus and be in the moment. I start thinking about how I'm running out of time to do these things with them, and then feeling bad about being traumatized, and then that snowballs into my entire life and all of the things my body's like aging without me, as I can't just make life pause while I get over trauma. I have to remember that life continues while you're healing from trauma. So instead of like letting those things run that will take me away from the moment I'm in and increase them, because it like loops in on itself, if I'm less present then I'm less spending time with them, the antidote seems to be breathing and grounding to the body and feeling the sensations so that I am in the body. That helps me be in the present, noticing things through senses, making myself feel closer to the world around me and the dogs, noticing areas where I am having good quality time with them, like just meeting their eyes more and smiling, and that makes them happy, and noticing how their fur feels and how warm they are, and like just really feeling the fullest experience of every bit of my interaction with them, wherever I am having it, and focusing on where it is instead of where it isn't, in a very mindful way. So I say mindfulness as well. That seems to be an antidote to the panic and the overwhelm and the feeling that I'm not doing enough, which will just loop on itself if I don't do something about it. Unfavourable comparisons, that's the thing as well. Like, noticing how this body doesn't look like me. My hair inside's long, my skin's a lot paler, my nose is slightly smaller, my eyes are a different colour. All these things that are like not really noticeable to other people because they don't have the comparison, but because I'm constantly comparing, I just notice the differences, the deficits, and it can really help to do the reverse. Like, this body is basically the same shape as mine inside. I might be the tiniest bit taller, but to be honest, I kind of like being smaller out here. I'm like nearly the same height as Vince inside, and I can feel too, too observable. It's like it stands out too much to be so tall, and so I kind of prefer that about being out here. So focusing on what I do like and what does suit me instead of what doesn't. Easier said than done, because it's like constantly bringing my mind back to that and then bringing myself back to the body. Every time I notice that it's gone off again, catching it, doing it again, it's like, it's a bit of a constant catch and bring back down and reassure. It's like having a helium balloon that you have to keep catching and bringing back. Could I have your left paw, please? Thank you. Could I have your right paw, please? Oh, very good. Okay, you're panting, it's hot, I'm exhausted, I've used up a lot of brain power. I think in a few minutes it's time to go inside. Come here. Oh, look at your shiny eyes. Could you lie down for me? Thank you. Good girl, I see you. Could you go flat? Very cute. Catch. Very good. You're so shiny. You're so shiny. Come here. Look at you run. Come here. Drop it. Oh, thank you. Come here. Can you go down? Well done. Could you go flat? Flat. Good. Can you touch? Can you touch without grabbing? Can you touch? Touch. Come on, touch. Come touch. You can do it. Come touch. You were done. You moved your little nose towards it. Well done. It's hard to touch without mouthing, isn't it? Could I have your left? Thank you. Could I have your right? Thank you. You're very good. You're so good. You're so sweet. You're a big cuddle bucket these days. Can you touch? Here. Here. Can you touch? Touch. Come touch. Come touch. Grandma touch. Yeah. Wait, you're so cute. Well done. It's hard. It's really hard. Well done. Would you do a spin for me? Do a spin for me. Thank you. Catch. All right. I do feel a lot better. It's a lot better to be in the body and notice these things and like, be able to catch them and be able to exist. Was that a few seconds? That was a good few seconds. And then my brain was like, your body's aging and soon you won't recognize yourself in it. What will even be the point in being in it? Thanks. I think that Vince decided to like, how'd I write it earlier? He just decided to call me the fuck out earlier. I didn't realize when we were watching our videos back. And I was having insecurities like this. They've really fucking taken off since whenever I have all parts of me here. And it seems to be from the part of me that is like most in front or like at the bulbiest bit of the bulb that I feel like I'm speaking more from than being channeled into like other parts. And that part of the light bulb happened to be the part of me that identified as a vampire. Identifies. But since the body was like 6, 7, I have not felt human and I have not felt like I was alive. I have not felt things like sensations. There is a permanence. I was young, so everything was very unchangeable. I didn't think about these things. I moved straight from that to like being in the inner world a lot, where my body doesn't change. I don't need to eat. There's no fluctuations in weight. There's this kind of stable permanence to me that nothing interrupts inside, and there's the knowledge of immortality. And now all of a sudden everything is very real. I'm really in this body. I understand that it's mine. I feel human. I can feel things like breathing and the need for it and my heartbeat and all sorts of things that I couldn't feel before and didn't think I needed. So both in levels of reality becoming much more real and me becoming much more attached to it, and in terms of feeling like I'm coming back to life and feeling physical sensations I haven't felt. And he was like, that's why all these insecurities are so like increased at the minute and so much. It's like you've only just what was it? You've only just like set into, accepted, seen, suddenly become mortal, recognize the mortal coil. It's like what you'd expect from somebody that believed they were going to be unchanging and immortal for their whole fucking lives, and suddenly has become very much more alive, very much more grounded to reality, and very, very much more mortal. I'm not sure about much more human. There's a lot of non-human parts to me. I would say I partially identify as human, and also very much not, but either way, all the rest of it seems pretty fucking accurate. Uncomfortably so. So that's like really increased my workload in terms of working through worries, fears, anxieties, insecurities, racing thoughts. A lot of things that I haven't had to experience before. And I'm not used to them.